to
lot of
say about
shit.
this album, bro. Oh boy.
You too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, just a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be done at I gotta be done at a certain time. 'Cause I got an interview. I
And
told
that's
you about. I
good.
gotta
Like
go.
the faster the better. I gotta watch SmackDown.
Okay, that's fine.
You know,
So we're not.
Fridays are my wrestling days, man. Shit can't be interrupted.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, so once Kavase gets here, we'll just start it and fuck it.
Yeah, they should know about boot camp. Y'all don't know about boot camp, you're on the wrong channel.
Yeah, because I can't miss this meeting, and I got some good news, but I'm not going to tell you the good news yet because I don't
Okay.
want to jinx it. But you fuck with the schedule, right?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I thought we
I'm
did
just.
that one album before.
You talking about the
I'm
hip hop
not,
one?
yeah, I thought we did that before.
Nah.
Yeah.
We were
No?
planning on doing it. I think on your
Oh.
channel, but you canceled it.
Huh? I canceled it?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. But
I don't
I'll
think so.
double check.
When was that?
Hold up. Let me double check. Let me double check because let me see if I did it first. Hold on. Because we were supposed to have done it, but
When
we
did I cancel it?
postponed it.
Cancel it for what?
It was years ago. It was like years.
Oh, wow. Well, it must have been, it had to have been going out or something. So,
Yeah, because it was supposed to have been on your channel, but it was like years ago.
yeah.
But yeah, I never done it on my channel. So okay, Kavase
Okay.
is here. Perfect.
Yo, yo,
Yo,
Yo,
yo. My
let's go,
bad,
Knicks.
man.
Come on, man.
Fell
Come
asleep.
on, Knicks. Let's go. We got Randall coming back. Let's go,
yeah,
man.
man.
It's
Let's
go
go.
time now.
Let's go. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second.
You good? Check it out. Like I said, we're gonna be done at least by 8:30 anyway. So at least. Thank you for the echo. Okay. Um, something I was gonna talk about.
Shout out to boot
Yeah.
camp.
So Primo and Russ.
If shout out to boot camp to boot camp and duck down. If they, I tagged them. If they watching, just know this is our honest opinion on the album. I love them.
You said what?
I said shout out to Duck Down and Boot Camp. Like I tagged them in the my story. So if they watching it, just know this is our honest opinion. I still love them, but not every album they got is a classic. You know,
That's true.
you gotta be honest about shit, even if
However,
it comes to
spoiler.
our beloved artists, man. You know,
I'm gonna keep my thoughts on this album under wraps for right now because
I
my
like
mind
some
is
things
on.
about it, and I don't like some things about it.
And that's natural.
Yeah,
But but I definitely want to do the BDI Thug one day.
I got that too. I got that one. I ain't hear that in a minute.
Same. Oh God, what's the album? So Ariana Grande dropped a new album.
I heard it. I don't like that album cover though. That album cover is stupid. What's with her doing these stupid album covers? Like when I bought Sweet in her, she had her face was upside down. This album cover is like her head is like she have her back to the album cover, and there's like two people. Is it two people on there? It was like just a mirror.
Peace, 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 peace.
I think it's just a
What's good?
mirror.
I don't like her album cover. She gotta stop doing these stupid album covers.
Who's that?
Ariana Grande.
Uh,
She doing dumb album covers now.
mm,
You know, there's no creativity with her album covers.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's the trend. Definition.
Like,
Yeah.
what's next? Like, she gonna have her little butt to the album cover in the next one. You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing these album
Funny,
covers?
funny.
Or no ass?
But she's already in controversy about that affair, so
The what?
that's the thing. Because she had some affair with some nigga, and she's basically flaunting over about this in this whole album, from what I heard.
I didn't even hear about that. Is the album good? Have you heard it?
Yeah. Nah, I actually just heard she just dropped a new album like a couple hours ago. I was like, oh wow.
We did our last album, right? Wasn't it like Positions or some shit?
Yeah, that was a cool
Yeah,
album.
yeah, that was good. But her album covers are
But
stupid.
yeah, man. Facts. But I'm ready to start whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
Lock in.
What's up, you two? How y'all doing this lovely Friday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got a full house today. I got my homeboy Try with me.
Oh, let's go Knicks.
I got my homeboy Cavase with
Yo, Knicks, what up?
yeah. So originally we were supposed to have done the Electric Circus album tonight, but okay, so Ant told me he had a thing with his girlfriend's mom, but then he told me last minute, oh, it got canceled. So I'm just like, well, I already pushed this shit back. So I want to push that back to probably next week, hopefully. So I just said to myself, well, it's been a while since we did a boot camp album. So let's talk about The Chosen Few, their second collective album that came out October 8th, 2002. You know what I'm saying? On Duck Down. This has every member from boot camp except for Rock. You know what I'm saying? He was not on this album and shit.
Yeah,
But
he
yeah,
was still
man.
like estranged from them and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Came out with singles and so with the B side Whoop His Ass, Think Back, B side That's Tough, and Ice Skate. I knew Ice Skate was a single. I knew
They
it.
picked the wrong singles.
They will talk about that.
Mhm.
Production is from Executive, Buckshot and Juha, Alchemist, Bink, Kurt Castle, The Beat Minus, Dan the Man, Eric Coptic, Matlock, High Tech, Producers Coalition of America Inc. Okay, and Tadios. Guest appearances include Supreme, Scratch, Illinois, Rufus Black, Jaheim Blackmore. All right, so we pretty much talked about a good amount of boot camp albums, so we don't have to go through the whole biography. 1997. By that time, they had that first wave. They had to enter the stage, Nocturnal, The Storm, the Shining. You know what I'm saying? But then once they dropped the For the People album, they lost the Beat Minus and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And Try likes that album. I never really liked the album, For the People. You
It's
know what I'm saying? I
it's
never liked.
I gotta go back and hear. It's been years. It wasn't whack to me when I first heard it though.
Mm, yeah, there's like two songs I like from that one. There's only two
Yeah,
songs.
I feel like that album. I really wasn't feeling that album when it first came out either. There was like maybe two songs during that
Hmm.
time that was
Right.
okay. But the album definitely didn't age well either. Like even
Nah.
it wasn't bad. I mean, I'm sorry, I just got a phone call. But it was bad when it first came out, but it's even worse like listening to it now. It's like there's really nothing about that album.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. And around that time too, Beat Miners kind of left on boot camp for a good minute and stuff like that too. So they don't really heavy on a lot of the second wave of boot camp albums. You know what I'm saying? So in the second wave of boot camp albums, we had like Smith and Wesson's The Rude Awakening, but they actually went by the Cocoa Brothers because the original company for Smith and Wesson firearms, they sued the group for the usage of the name and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
actually
Right.
like the Rude Awakening. Right. I actually like the Rude Awakening. I feel like that album is very underrated. It's not touching the Shining though, but I feel like that was
Right.
underrated. Then you had Helter Skelter with Magnum Force, which I've never liked that album. I'm gonna be real with you, because Nocturnal was such a grimy album. This album they went for more of that mainstream,
Yeah.
not borderline shiny suit, but they're still trying to keep it rugged at the same time too. You know what I'm saying? Then
I think
around
there's
this
like
time,
two songs on there I like. I like the Suspect joint that Havoc did, and
hmm
was it Bounce to the Ounce, that joint?
yeah,
That's about it.
yeah,
I don't remember
Yeah,
nothing
no,
else on
right,
that album.
nah, I mean the single was fire too.
Yeah.
The shit with Redman on the hook. I ain't having that. That shit was fire.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I,
right.
I like that song.
That was on Help the Scout the album. I was talking about the OGC joint.
Oh, OGC. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. And then you had Black Moon who got back together because you got to remember they actually went on hiatus after issues with Nervous Records. They came out with the War Zone, which we talked about that album. That's
That was
actually my
fire.
favorite after Second Wave. To
Yeah.
me, my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's an underrated album. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So yeah. Then you had OGC coming out with the Empire Strikes Back. I haven't heard the whole album full in years. So and that's actually their last album they came out with, which is kind of crazy though.
They need some
You know
new
what I'm
music
saying? So
though. Oh, you see me some new music
right,
out.
right. And so in 1999, Buckshot dropped his solo debut, The BDI Thug, which that name was actually given to him by Tupac and everything like that too. And I'm not gonna hold you, I never really liked that album. I love Buckshot. I feel like he's one of my favorite MCs, but the album cover, first of all, I never liked the album cover. I never liked that. Never liked the
Mhm.
album, but it's been years since I've heard that joint. And so that album got a lot of harsh reviews and not a lot of strong commercial success. That Priority Records dropped Duck Down, you know what I'm saying, as a distributor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So this led to, Helter Skelter breaking up and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? OGC going on hiatus and everything, Cocoa Brothers signing a deal with Rockets Records and whatnot too. So it was just like boot camp was just in limbo around that time too. And mind you, they had the opportunity to sign one rapper at that time,
Who was
Eminem,
that?
but they passed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know what's
They passed.
crazy?
Right.
It's crazy that like I was a really big boot camp fan, but it just shows you what was going on, like how much like epic hip hop was going on at that time. Because even that I'm like a huge boot camp fan, there's so many albums that happened that I didn't even realize happened. You know what I'm saying? Like you just mentioned the
You
Buckshot.
definitely do.
You just
You
mentioned the
definitely
Buckshot album, and it's like, yo, I didn't even know that dropped because it's like there's so much other stuff going on at that time that I didn't even realize like some of that shit dropped.
uh,
Yeah, because a lot of that shit wasn't even promoted that well either. So
Right.
that's crazy. And also, 2001, Beat Miners dropped an album called Brace for Impact. That
that's
was,
fire.
if you
That's
expecting,
fire. That
that's a
album's
fire
fire.
album.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting that classic Beat Miner sound, you might be slightly disappointed, to be real with you.
Nah, you
But
crazy. I love that album. To me, I think that's like their last great project together.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. All right. So fast forward to 2002, Duck Down signed a new deal with Koch Records and everything like that, too. You know what I'm saying? And I actually said it right this time. And pretty much they came out with this album called The Chosen Few. Now, a lot of people have said that this was the redemption after the fucking For the People album. I would not really go that far, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. The album cover right here, this is them. I've always loved the album cover. Them dressed in
Yeah.
basketball and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Um that album cover always just like struck to me. I was just like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know what to expect from this one and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, of course
It's
I don't
it's
have the
fi-
album.
it's
You said
fire
what?
because it's fire because if I remember, it came out around the same time when like NBA Street was like really popping off, like
Yep.
really fire. So
Yeah,
I always associated this album with like that game. And
right.
I definitely bought this album in stores when it came out, and that's why it's like one of my favorite boot camp albums ever. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, definitely.
I
You know
was
what I'm
on the
saying?
street team. I was on the street team for them at this point, and they sent me the
Oh
poster for
yeah.
Chosen Few, but they didn't send me the album. You know what I'm saying? So I only heard it like years ago. I never bought it. I
Mm,
still think the only great Click album for them is The Last Stand. In my
mm,
opinion, I think that's their best album. But
mm.
yeah, I was already like promoting their DVDs and stuff at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot you at the street team around this time for this
Yeah,
album. That's dope. All right. Well, 15 tracks, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this over at a good time. First track, we got is the intro, Yo Boot Camp. This is pretty much like an how many rap albums started off with somebody waking up or in a dream, thoughts random on his head, you know what I'm saying? How many rap songs kind of started off with that, you know? Like
Mm,
like from NWA's Niggas for Life album,
right.
Biggie's Life After Death. Everybody, all the were talking about, oh, boot camp, y'all whack now. How y'all gonna let y'all diss you like that? You know how motherfuckers in New York be and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I
right.
miss that. I miss how grimy that shit was. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Now these days, niggas be bitching on TikTok and IG lives and shit. And it's just like,
mm, yeah.
Erase.
yeah, what y'all think of the intro?
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know you was done. All right. So yeah, the intro to me was fire. I mean, I like it's kind of like a throwback from back in the days, like how people used to do their intros. It gave you a good feel of like we've been gone for a minute, but now we're back, and here's like a collage of everything that's been going on in between our disappearance or whatever like that. I feel like they mentioned the whole thing like with the radio shit at the time because I know the Hot 97 stopped fucking with him because Sean Price got in a fight with one of the security guards at Hot 97, and
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
yeah, he got
Me
in a
neither.
fight. It was Sean Price and Rock went up to the Hot 97 to do some promotion or
Wow.
to be on radio with Angie Martinez. But down in the lobby, the security guard was giving them a problem. So, Rock went upstairs to get Angie Martinez, but then when he went back downstairs, him and this Sean P and the security guard had already gotten a fight. So,
And you know what's crazy?
mhm,
That might have been the story I saw on YouTube. Somebody posted a story about that,
mhm.
and Angie Martinez was actually the nurse in the Help Sculptor video for what's the joint, the mental therapy joint.
Yeah, I need a doctor.
Yeah, she was the nurse in that video, and I
Ooh,
never knew that
love
until I
that.
saw the picture. I'm like, oh shit.
Hmm.
So that makes sense.
So apparently,
I
Angie
need a
Martinez.
doctor to
To
give.
give me some therapy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
apparently Angela Martinez was really upset behind that stuff.
Wow.
Um, but uh, but I'm not sure she was the main reason who got them canceled from Hot 97 and playing their records.
They
But
were canceling a lot of people. They canceled Wu Tang because Wu Tang was on tour with Rage Against the Machine,
right,
and they couldn't make the date or whatever.
yeah. And Ghostface said what he said. He
But they
was like,
let
Right.
they let Puffy be all over Hot 97 at that time, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
so yeah, they got kind of banned from Hot 97 for a little bit for all that stuff. So and they were kind of like alluding to that in this intro.
Yeah.
I thought it was dope, and the way that it started off with you hearing like different voices and fans, and they talking about you know why y'all not hitting in New York, and why the radio don't play your stuff when you're coming out, and I love that. I want to say one of the voices we heard was Fat Five Freddy. I think I heard his
Yes.
voice in that. I know his voice net by at this time. Like he's been on MTV for like 30 something years. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he was in it. And I like the way that they started the intro off and this was like their second, crew album. So I thought it was that intro was dope.
Yeah, I love that intro. You know what I'm saying? And then we start off with Enso. You know what I'm saying? This came out. This was the second track on the album. This is actually the track that actually made me want to hear the album in the first place. To be real with you, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? This was part of that time when like a lot of New York hip hop was definitely doing them anthem kind of songs, like locks, like that locks dipset kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So the chorus really was what really made the song. You had Tech, Sean Price, Buckshot. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing. You had a fucking Top Dog and stuff too. Yeah, they all did their thing on this one, but I gotta say, fucking Tech and Sean Price had the best verses in my opinion. So yeah.
Mm, interesting. All right, man. This song, of course, is a classic, man. This is to me one of Boot Camp's best songs. If I had to give you a list of like top 10, I feel like "And So" will be in my top 10, man. I like this song
Yeah,
that much. The beat, fire, the way they incorporated the voice sample with the "and so," and
yeah,
they kind of played with it around their verse with that and shit like that.
mhm,
I thought it was a perfect way to open the album.
yeah.
And like it came right off the intro, and the content and the song kind of like reflected, what the intro was talking about.
Facts.
So I thought it was really dope, man. So yeah, I'm definitely fucking with this one.
I love this song. Alchemist, like I said, Alchemist, the best producer in this era right now. He
Hmm.
gave us a dope ass beat. I remember seeing a video on it was Rap City, and then I end up getting the best of Duck Down videos, like greatest hits, and they actually have the video and the Think Back video on the greatest hits DVD.
Hmm.
I got that from
Nice.
Fat Beats back in the day. And Fat Beats was when the store was open. And I love how everybody came in, like Kaveh said, like with the and soul sample, and they just like crafted their verse around the sample.
Right.
And
Yes.
Sean Price, man, rest in peace, Sean Price. From
Yeah.
day one, I had a bad start to eat. Mom stole meat out of Pathmark. Pathmark is actually a grocery store here in New York City. I don't know if
Yep.
everybody outside of New York has a Pathmark, but it's actually a grocery store here in New York City. And I loved his verse. I loved his verse. I loved the opening verse by Tech. When he said slave DJs who think they're untouchable. I thought that he was taking a shot at Tony Touch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But supposedly I had mentioned
Mm.
that to another platform. Supposedly there's no beef with Tony Touch and them because Boot Camp was on Peacemaker. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Volume 1. So and they did like the 50 MCs on joints with him and stuff. So um I thought that was a shot at Tony Touch. I don't know if it is. I never heard of no beef with them, but everybody did their thing. You know what I'm saying? Buckshot, Top Dog, everybody. This is a classic record. This to me is one of the best songs on this album.
Yeah.
I agree. This is actually my second favorite song on this album, believe it or not. So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Next track. Let's get down to business. Alchemist again, man. I mean, definitely did his thing on this one. I love the beat to this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely felt like Buckshot did his thing on this track right here too. Buckshot, Starring Wonder too, which why was not there ever a Starring solo? I don't know. You know
That
what I'm
was supposed to
saying?
happen
But
though. They
yeah,
were
man,
in
this
the
is
early
just
2000s. If you
I know.
remember, the website hiphopsite.com is no longer around. They posted like he had like a teaser
Yeah.
single out, and they posted and he was supposed to drop an album even back in the 2000s. Why he never dropped one, I don't know. And I recently saw him doing like drill rap shit. I'm like, what are you doing, Storine? Stop. This
Mhm.
boot camp and drill rap do not even go together. Like, I don't want to hear Storine on a drill rap beat.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I know which one you're talking about, Try. I don't like that, but
Yeah.
this is definitely a fire song. One of the best beats on the album too.
Yeah, this song right here, man, like the beat just comes off crazy. It doesn't sound like your typical beat that you would hear from boot camp. Like even that though that's Alchemist or whatever, it does
Yeah,
sound like an Alchemist beat. Though.
you
That
do.
does
Yeah,
sound like an Alchemist beat. But to me, I wouldn't have thought boot camp if I just heard this beat alone. But they did well with it, yo. The song is fire. I like the way the hook came in, Buckshot, and everybody played their part in the song. So I fuck with this song.
this is dope.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think Buckshot, Sean Price, and Sterling had the best verses. Sterling, he said, "My vocals make me more than bi-coastal, local. I get this dough like I'm supposed to. Make business that's far from social. Hear these words when we approach you. Love this flow. Always love this flow. To me, my favorite verse from Sterling was on the LaFleur joint.
Hmm.
Love that verse. His both of his verses on that were classic. I love those verses on that record. But this is a banger.
Yeah, I agree with you on this, bro. Next song, Let's Roll. I do not like this song. This was produced by Baby Paul. The beat sounds like a throwaway beat I would expect from Timbaland, to be real with you. That
Lord,
early 2000s kind of sound that everybody was trying to
they
do
were
them
doing
little,
that.
yeah.
They were
And boot
doing that
camp,
shit.
I don't want to hear that sound from a boot camp album. And I hear a lot of that on this album and shit, and I don't like it.
Yo, Red
Yeah,
Exclusive.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about because what I wrote down was you know what I mean, like it's not one of my favorite songs from them, but you know what I mean. I'm also not mad at the song. I think it's a cool attempt of making a commercial track without totally selling out. You know, I feel like
Right,
for boot camp, I do feel like they were trying to chase 106 and Park almost.
right.
Like I feel like if they would have made a video for this,
It would have been
and
bad.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
feel like if they made a video for this and like imagine this song playing next to
Ja
maybe
Rule.
like Ja Rule
Yeah,
or next to
Yes.
what
yeah.
like Cash Money
Mm-hmm. Facts.
like Baby and Manny Fresh songs
I was
back in the
thinking more Nelly.
I
Pretty
think
cool.
I think this would have done really well, you know what I mean? So but yeah.
I think it's whack. It's too jiggy. That's
Yeah.
that's not their sound. And I like Ray said, I get it. Like they were trying to to get radio play, I guess, which is something they never tried to do. But the quirky melody, it sounded like a video game, type of joint. And I just the lyrics, I'm like, they talking about bitches and cars. I'm like, that's not boot camp.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I just thought like this wasn't needed.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right. Next song we got is Welcome to Bucktown, USA, featuring Supreme and Scratch.
Yes.
Uh, this
Ah,
was okay. This was
okay.
yes. First, I thought it was like a sequel to the Bucktown song from The Shining. I mean, it's better than most, but it's okay. It's not nothing to go home about.
Wow. Okay, man. Respect to you, man. But yo, this is the shit right here. Like,
You know how
yo, this song right here, man. What?
Yeah,
This joint is like this is classic boot camp. This is the vintage boot camp you want to hear. This is like the continuation of what we love from boot camp. To me, in my opinion,
right.
I love this song, man. I think this song is amazing.
Mhm.
Definitely, probably my second favorite song after "And So."
Right.
Um, definitely, I put this in the list of
right.
I don't know top 10, but I put this in my list of boot camp's best song. You know what
I'll
I'm saying?
tap in all time.
Of all time. Not
Oh
I
wow.
don't no. I'm not saying top 10,
Uh
but if you give me 20, maybe top 20,
oh, top 20.
I put this in the top 20 for sure.
I like the beat. I thought it was it's a good beat. I like the piano chords in it, the bass line. To me, I think Steel had the best verse. And he said PNC, BCC, General STEELE. We do this like we do this because we all family, known as some of the truest in this industry. Contract, combat, left casualty, duck down when he marked on target, and I squeeze. I love this flow. His flow is timeless too. Like it doesn't really switch up that much. And I love his wordplay. So to me, he still had the best verse. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was definitely a dope track.
Mm-hmm.
I get what y'all are saying. All right. Next track we got is "That's Tough" a little bit. Bink. No, I don't like this song. Get a little
I
bit
don't
of
like this
ad
one
and a
either.
little bit.
Yeah,
I know the name is Range about to get he Rover Man. Y'all new names finito. Y'all overlanes. Peep my form next backs and pecs Jeep wagon. This is not boot camp.
no.
This is not. No, no. You now Starang talking about going to the club and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
like, what are y'all
Mm-hmm.
like? If this was for Jay-Z, if this was made for like Dipset, I would accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because Bink
Yeah,
Bink done a lot of work with those cats and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this song, but again, I'm not really mad at it because it's like what they do is like they try to sell out without actually fully going there and selling out. It's still like a very hood song, but
Right.
I'm not totally mad at it. I feel like they're trying to chase. It's definitely evident they're trying to chase the radio and trying to chase 106 and Park, like what was going on the 106 and Park days at the time, like with the number one stunners and
Right.
all that shit going on at that time, man. But it's definitely not what you want to hear from boot camp. So yeah, I'm not a fan of
See,
this.
like when you have artists that chase radio and they're not known for doing that, it's not a good outcome. Like Mike Geronimo, you saw what
Yeah.
happened with him with his second album.
Mhm.
Eminem,
Yep.
the last couple of his recent releases have been garbage because he's chasing pop, the pop market, and he was so against that when he first came out. You know what I'm saying? With boot camp, it's like same with them. It's like they're not known for chasing radio. Like their shit was so dope that radio would just have to play them. Like they were in heavy rotation when Bucktown came out, or when Operation Lockdown came out, or No Fear. They were in heavy rotation. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Just like the radio knew at that time, like, oh, we gotta play these dudes because they shit is just so fire. It wasn't to the point where they had to like make a radio funny song to get airplay. That wasn't them. And this joint was horrible. And the thing with OGC, what I didn't like about that second album, they did a lot of that on that second album. When you listen to The
Yep.
Storm, there's none of that on there. You listen to the second album, it was they had radio friendly joints, and it's like it carried over. That they never got off of that, and they just kept on doing it. So this joint to me is whack. I don't like this joint. And the thing with Bink is a legendary producer. He made Mr. Cheeks Lights Camera Action.
Right.
Gave Mr. Cheeks a huge solo hit, and done stuff for State Property and Rockefeller and all that. And you give us this shit?
This actually sounds like something Mr. Cheeks, like they should have featured Mr. Cheeks
Right.
maybe on
Well,
there. And
yeah, we'll put Mr. Cheeks on there. He could have been on the chorus or something, or had a verse.
right.
You know?
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with what you got. Is there a lot of 106 and Park vibes on this album?
Yeah.
You know. All right, next track. Yeah, whatever. This is like a skit. I actually found this skit kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Just a motherfucker talking about kind of mistaking boot camp for like other rappers or fucking up the names. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was hilarious because I know it's Sean Price. I
Yeah.
know that's got to be Sean Price.
Hmm.
Making those voices and then just talking about like, yeah, man, I'm kind of like Ja Rule. He's like, I can sing and rap, and I'm kind of like, he say he's like, I'm like exactly where Mace left off, and I like.
Right.
He's like, I'm like the hottest dude in New Hampshire. So I thought that was like hilarious, man. I know it's Sean P. So
That was hilarious. And Sean used to love playing pranks on the crew, and
hmm
um I love the skit, and just him doing like the whole voice, and you talking about doing make shit with Ja Rule, and I'm the hottest dude in New Hampshire, and I got Rhode Island locked down. That shit was hilarious. I enjoyed it.
uh,
Definitely. Yes, sir. All right, next track is Had It Up to Here. I did not like this. I had it up to here. And the audacity that the beat minds of all people made this beat. The audacity. And it features the Illinois too. Yeah, this one was not good. Not I did not
wow.
like this one.
Maybe, um, maybe it's got to be because all right. So try you didn't hear this album until
No,
a few
no, I,
years
I
ago.
heard the album years ago. Like I was promoting for this album, but they never sent me the album. They just sent me like the posters.
So you didn't hear this album until a few years ago, right?
I heard it recently today again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Reg, you said when did you hear this album?
The first time,
Yeah.
I think the first time I heard it was like the early 20 teens, maybe 2013 ish.
Okay. So because like you was like curving like some of the hottest shit on
Some of the
this.
hottest joints. Yeah.
So like I'm thinking I'm like maybe it's me, maybe it's my nostalgic because I bought this album when it came out and I
Right.
remember this song. This song was hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like this shit is fire. Like the way the beat drops and I had it up to here with the sample voice. Yo, that shit was crazy hard. So
Yeah.
I fuck with this song hard body. It's another one of my favorite boot camp songs ever. Like
I
I
respect
lo-
it.
I
mhm.
think
I,
go ahead.
I'm done.
I was saying I think Sean Price had the best verse in Tech. I like both of the and even Tech on the chorus. I had it up to here with y'all want to be stars, trying to be who you ain't, just be who you are. I loved him on the chorus, and Sean Price loved his verse. He said, backpack niggas acting all funny and shit till I tell them that shit is whack. Ain't no money in this. And you
Mhm.
female rappers, I'm in your career. Rapper, my hands around your throat while you get banged in the rear. I'm the type of nigga that'll throw a shell in your arm. You the type to snitch, bitch. Why you telling my mom?
Yeah,
That's that is witty, bar heavy Sean Price. That's why I'm telling you, like Sean Price. If it wasn't for him, they would be irrelevant right now. Like he
yeah,
kept them relevant in the 2000s. The same way
I
Ghostface kept
agree.
Wu Tang relevant in 2000s, it was Sean Price that kept
facts.
this crew
I
together and kept them within, hip hop circles. Because after, if you really look at it, after Warzone, they were done.
hmm
After Warzone, like that second wave of releases were not great as the first albums from those artists. You know what I'm saying? And when Sean Price went on that solo run, he kept them relevant. And to me, he had a lot of great verses on this album. And I think he had the best verse on this song.
hmm
yeah. Also, personal opinion aside, I actually fuck with Total Eclipse from Black Moon. I'm not even gonna hold you. I fuck with that album.
Is that the one with the Black Moon joint that Jay-Z sample?
Yeah,
Okay. I haven't heard that in years either.
yeah, man. I feel like it's on the same quality as Warzone, to be real with
Oh,
you. But at that time for boot camp, I can accept an album like that because Black
right.
Moon still kept it underground. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got to finish up their discography and even talk about the Buckshot Ninth Wonder albums and shit too.
That's good. I
Um,
like the Buckshot stuff with Ninth Wonder.
yeah.
hmm
Track number 9, Whoop His Ass featuring Rufus Black. Now this song, I actually like this song. You know what I'm saying? It has a very club banger hype. You know what I'm saying? Def Jam Fight for New York soundtrack kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Very dope track. You know what I'm saying? I love the line when what's my fucking name? Steele said, "Been pissing whores before Arkeezy. We number one stuns like a baby and Wheezy. So like it's easy, want me, see me. Fuck talking, we squeezing my lips is greasy." Like funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So this was definitely another dope track.
Yeah, I fussed with the song, not as much as the other songs, but I definitely, I definitely fuck with the song. I feel like it's a good, decent song for boot camp. I do, I do feel like they could have benefited from a collab,
Yeah.
like maybe with like a southern artist, maybe like a Pastor Troy or something. Like throw Pastor Troy up in this joint. I thought it would have been
Hell,
kind of thought would have been a kind of crazy collab for this joint, but that's
I
just a
say
thought.
David Banner.
David Banner would have been
Right.
crazy too. That would have been a good time. So yeah, it's a decent song.
I didn't like the beat. Didn't
Right.
like the beat. I
That's
thought
that's my
I
issue
don't
with it.
think, and I wouldn't have picked this as a single. You know what I'm saying? Like they had and so and think back. Those were like the first two singles, which was great.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't have picked this as a single. I would have picked there were other joints on here I would have picked as a single, as a third single. I
Man,
wouldn't have picked this.
Right.
I feel like this is the right single. I don't know what you
This, this and you like the beat. Y'all like the beat for this?
That's
I
my
do.
issue with the beat. The beat was my main issue with it, but I don't hate the beat. But it's
Right.
just if I had to pick what my biggest problem is with the song, it's probably the beat.
Shoot. Damn, I think this is one of the best beats on the album. Damn, I must wow.
This song I think is one of the best. This song.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Next song, Daddy Wanna. My favorite track on the album. You know what I'm saying? And this is produced by the Beat Minus 2, and it's actually a good beat. So
Right.
what more can I ask for? So pretty much is just talking about, just being a black dad and stuff like that. The black dad trying to do right by his kids and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And then he just have to take responsibility of his own. I personally feel like Sean Price had the best verse on on the song.
I agree.
I kind of feel like he's
Yes.
kind of like the MVP.
Uh-huh.
You know, tricking with chickens on the Ave, that strip tease. Yo, I don't like your moms. Getting to the point where I want to strike your moms and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, rest in peace, Sean P. Man, rest in peace, man.
Right. During the times when this album came out, this to me was like the skip. This is the skip.
Really? You
Like
you
this
skipped this joint.
this
What?
song was a skip because we're talking about. I'm talking about at the time. Like
Hmm.
you're looking at what 2002. So what was I? I was just about to turn 20, maybe 19 years old.
Right.
So this song, particular song, was like, all right, whatever, the next song. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But listening to the song now, I can appreciate it. It is one of the better songs on the album. My only problem is that it's way too long. It's we got
You
five
think
minutes.
so?
It's 5 minutes song. Everybody had to have a verse on this song, and this is
Right.
kind of my issue with the as we get closer to the end of the album, I feel like everybody was trying to get on every single song, and there was no real format for them. It was just like, okay, let's get a beat and let's all rap to the song instead of actually having a structure. Like everybody don't got to be on every single song. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like Wu Tang did a good job sometimes where it's like, all right, maybe Ghostface is not on this song. Maybe
Right.
Method
Right.
Man is not on this song. But I feel like with Boot Camp on these last few songs, everybody just had to eat. And it's like, it just made the song. It's like, damn, if this song was like 2 minutes shorter, it would have been a really solid song. But that's my only gripe with it. I just feel like there was no format for the song. It was just like everybody's just rapping and
See,
everybody's getting their
I
shit.
think it was a concept song because they're talking about like being dads. You
Right.
like you got like the girl in the beginning, and she's like talking about how the baby need Pampers and calling dude a deadbeat dad, and I think this is like their answer back to them, being there for their kids or not being there for their kids. So
Right.
that was the concept.
Hmm.
That I don't really have a issue with the length of the track because Wu Tang did that all the time, where it'd be like a 6 minute track with all nine members on the song. But I do agree, it's like sometimes some of the best Wu Tang songs didn't have everybody on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it would be just Ghost by himself. or maybe you throw Deck Ray and You God on a track by these, but they still represent the whole clan. But I love the song. I think the beat was dope, and even at the end of the song, you got like the kids saying, Daddy, when you taking me to Six Flags? When you gonna teach me to drive your car? I want $100 for my birthday. So that was like the concept. I
Hmm.
think once again, I think the best verse came from Sean Price. He had the best
Yeah,
verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it's a lot of that on this album where Sean outdid everybody. To me, it's between Sean and Steele from Smith and Wesson. I think they had the best verses on their album. And Sean saying, and I don't like your moms, getting to the point where I want to strike your moms, and I know you don't want to see me fight your moms, getting hyped, then commence to let pipe your moms. Yo, and I ain't going to jail. I'm packing my bags. I'm out the door. I got a bill. Loved his verse. Like that. That
Hmm.
is vintage Sean Price.
Right.
definitely. All right. Track number 11, Ice Skate. Didn't like the beat. This is produced by High Tech and whatnot. And yeah, I didn't like the beat. It was one of those more mainstream beats, but lyrically, actually, the song is dope lyrically. You know what I'm saying? I got what they was trying to do with this one, but it's just like, nah, it's not.
No. This song again could have been a huge song for boot camp. This could have been like a true single. It could have been, and it could have been one of those singles where it necessarily wasn't them selling out to make a single. Like this was like a high tech sound, you know what I mean? That high tech was doing. So it wasn't necessarily like a cheesy. To me, it wasn't. It didn't feel like a cheesy beat. Like okay,
Right.
this is a beat because we're trying to chase radio. This was just a high tech sound, and I thought the usage of having a female on the hook was dope. But the reason why I feel like this song didn't do anything is again too many people trying to rap. Again, another 5 minute song. Like if you could have had the female, like you brung the hook back like 8 different times. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like they could have just had 3 people on it, maybe Buckshot, Steel, and Sean P with the hooks coming in between them and just call it a day. But everybody had to rap on this song, so
Right.
it just drew the whole thing out. And after like 3 minutes in, you're like, all right, bro. All right, next song.
Right. Right. The beat was okay. Um, I think maybe if the beat was given to G Unit, it would have been better. Because I know at that time High Tech was doing stuff with, well, this is before 50 got on up. He was doing stuff for G Unit when they came out. But I think it would have been better for G Unit. If
Hmm.
they had came out around this time in was it '02 or whatever.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
sounded jiggy. It sounded a little bit jiggyish to me. I didn't care for the girl on the hook either. Once again, Sean Price had the best verse. I sound like a broken record now. He had the best verse on this record. You said you don't like me, I don't like you. You want to fight me, fuck it, let's fight Duke. I'm on fifth. I'm 1/5 of the fab. I'm 1/8 of the great. I got shit on the ab. I make cake out of steak. Loved his
Hmm.
verse. Best verse on this song. But it was okay. Like it's tolerable. They actually have footage of them when they went on tour. They went to Minnesota and they were performing this song. So they showed footage of that's on one of the Duck Down DVD visuals when they were like
Hmm.
going on tour across America. So when they stopped in
Hmm.
Minnesota, they actually showed them like performing the song on stage.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. I'm gonna be real with you. The last couple of tracks, we can just all say our thoughts all at once for like just us the outro and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, just us, dope song, very grimy. This is the kind of shit I want to hear from the album all this time and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Buckshot definitely did his thing. Starang and Steel also did their thing on this one too. You know what I'm saying? Think Back, very dope song as well. The Beat Miners did a very solid beat, very nostalgic kind of song. Just talking about the days of the past, referencing classic hip hop, classic shows. Just growing up in the '80s and stuff like that too. Love that kind of shit. Kind of wish this was placed a bit higher on the album.
Yeah.
The Chosen Few, Live for This. A bit too long. I'm not gonna hold you, but I do feel like this was a very solid track too. Again, I would probably put this a bit higher on the album as well too. You know what I'm saying? I love the beat from Coptic and shit. And finally the outro words from Tech. You know, Tech doing a little monologue, you know what I'm saying? Nice way to end off the record. I love it.
Well, Just Us was the beat was fire, but I really wasn't feeling the song overall. Like I felt like this song could have gone to like maybe State Property at the time or something like that. That would have suited them well. Um, but you know what it is? It's like
Uh,
it's another 5 minute song, and I feel like the reason why they feel so drawn out, and there's a difference between when Wu Tang does it and when Wu Camp does it. Wu Tang did a good job of making like individual artists. So
right,
like we knew, all right, here's Ghostface,
right,
here's Raekwon, here's Jizza, etc., etc. Like they did a really good job of making these people characters. Like when
right,
you look at Boot Camp, it's really just, all right, here's Smith and Wesson, here's Sean P. And if you're really like into boot camp, you know who
mm,
these other people are. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right,
So that's why these songs feel more drawn out than like a Wu Tang is because like you really don't know like really don't know these other people like that. You know, like the strange, unless you're like a really big boot camp
right.
fan. You
Right.
really don't know these other people, so you really don't care too much about when they verses come on too much. So and that's how I feel pretty much with the last few songs on here. It's just like again, could have been a better song if it was just lesser people on it. But that's what I got.
But the thing is, they started doing that when they first came out.
Hmm.
When it was Black Moon and Smith and Wesson, Helter Skelter, OGC, they we knew who they was.
But
Along the way, at some point, when they started sounding like the house, remember the House of Representatives? They had one album, then they left.
hmm
Then you had Turmoil with Rock leaving the crew. They started signing, artists like Keras One and Be Real to like one album deals. So it's like in the 2000s, it's like it didn't feel like a family no more. It felt more like a label, and they were just signing other artists. The Kids in the Hall, Status Selector was there at one point.
but
So it's like the main core. We know the main core. The main core is on this album because it's really the main core artist on Duck Down that's considered Boot Camp Click. Nobody outside of that.
hmm
But even with that, it's like, see, OGC only dropped two albums. We don't really know who the hell they are.
right, exactly,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like we know who Buckshot is. We know who Sean Price was.
Hmm.
We know Rock. He's doing podcasts and stuff now. You know what I'm saying? OGC, being that they only dropped two albums and the last album was back in the '90s, we don't really know shit about them
But
because they didn't go out of their way to have successful solo careers. Like I know Louis. I used to see Louis on MySpace. He was doing like independent mixtapes, but it wasn't under Ducktown.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? And Storane, whatever happened to that album, they just said fuck it. We not doing nothing with Storane. Top Dog, he ain't drop shit. So we don't really know OGC like that. But the main core we still know. It's just that I don't know what happened. It's like they got away from being that close knit group, and it just became like a label where they were just signing whoever.
but
You know what I'm saying? And with Wu Tang,
Right.
Wu Tang was close from day one. Like we know who they are because
mhm,
RZA set that up like individually. Once
yeah.
once the first album came out, everybody else, each member coming out solo wise. So he already had a plan in place. That's why it worked.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? And then they all regrouped to form Voltron for Wu Tang Forever. And look how that took off. One of the
But
best double albums ever. You know what I'm saying? And we know each one like that. I don't think Boot Camp, they started doing that and then they broke away from doing that. You know
hmm
what I'm saying? But I thought Just Us was dope. I liked Tech's verse. I think Tech and Smith and Wesson had the best verse on that. Think Back, that was a single. I love the video for that. It was nostalgia. I love Buck's verse. He's, talking about, 1981, the first year rap begun. The first time I saw it backwards spun, I was in my living room practicing, watching the two practice life, different strokes in the afternoon. So that was like a nostalgia type of track. They talk about how they grew up and how hip hop, raised them and how they became the artists that they are now. I love the video for that. The Chosen Few, I like the title track. I thought it was a banging beat. I think Steel had the best verse on that, and I love Steel. I don't think Steel get enough props as a lyricist,
Facts.
and I think him and Tech. Everybody talks about the Locks and Red and Meth. Smith and Wesson is just as great as any of those dudes when it comes to
Say it
like
again.
back and forth.
Say it
Mike
again.
play. They one of the best. They don't get enough props. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Maybe it's because they wasn't really like in high demand for features like Red and Meth and the Locks, but they can go toe to toe with the Locks and Red and Meth. I loved his verse, and he said, let God give guidance. May the hood provide us with the necessity to get us by this. Niggas falling victim to mirages. We rep the hardest. Blood and sweat gonna drip regardless. I loved his flow on that. That was banging. The last track where you got like words, the outro was like words from Tech, and he talking about, don't weep when I'm dead, and God and all this. That was cool. I don't know if I would have ended the album off with that. And in the beat playing in the background was the Chosen Few beat. But yeah, that I thought the album was dope. I mean, I know y'all didn't give your ratings yet.
All right. Well, honestly, despite a few misfires, I do find this album to be relatively solid. You know what I'm saying? The good, they all felt. I feel like lyrically, that's the strongest point. I feel like the first couple of tracks was good, but then it kind of gets a little spotty in the middle. But then the last couple of tracks, they kind of brought it back and stuff like that too. But if I had to pick a negative aspect about this album, they don't feel like a group in some songs. Some songs, it was just like they were just the chemistry was not all the way there. Some of the production was kind of weak, in my opinion, but it was not like horrendous levels. But if I was to rate this album, I'd probably give it maybe like a 3.5 out of 5.
Mm. Um, I'm gonna stick with my initial thoughts of this album. I always liked this album. It was always one of the boot camp albums I always held a high regard. Like whenever I would talk about boot camp, I always would mention this album. Like, yo, this joint was slept on. Um, so and still listening to it today, it still holds up in my opinion. The beats, I feel like the beat selection on here was good, like really good to me. Despite maybe two or three songs. Um, I felt the bars, of course, was there. My only problem listening to the album now would be just things I mentioned, like just strong structure and format to the songs, and just not really caring about that. Later in the album, where it's just like everybody just needs to be on the song. It's like, nah, you could have got away with just having three people from boot camp click on the song instead of seven people on the same damn song. So that's my only really gripe with it. But overall, I'm gonna give this. I'm a hard critic, but I'm gonna give it. Because I fuck with the album so much. I'm still gonna
Yeah,
give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I think the album is banging. I love the production. It was some. There's some dope joints on here, and then there's some jiggy type of. I call it jiggy. There's some jiggy type of radio friendly records because I know that's not them, and they were for whatever reason going for radio play at this time in hip hop. When you had people like Nelly and Ja Rule, and the South was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I know those. That's not really boot camp. You know, the main drawback I have with this is OGC. There was not enough OGC members that came strong on this album.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to Last Stand, that was totally different. Last Stand, they came harder on that album. On this album, with the exception of The Rain, there was nothing I could quote from Louisville or from Top Dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always felt like Rain would have had a great solo career because he always was dope with the bars. And he had some joints on here that he did his thing, but the other two members, it was like they played the back.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I like the album. I think the singles was a different story. I'm just thinking of like marketing wise, I wouldn't have picked some of those other singles, but and Soul and Think Back to Me were like the best joints on here as far as like the singles. But I love Let's Get Down to Business and Daddy Wanna. I think Daddy Wanna should have been a single because I could have seen like a video for that and it would have been hilarious. But it would have had a message as well because they all have kids and they all I'm hoping they all are there for their kids. They had a message with that. I think that should have been a single. I like Just Us. The album is not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely some bangers on here. I'm gonna give it 3.5. But I still feel like when you hear Last Stand is their best crew album together. It was stronger production. They had big name producers like Pete Rock and Lost Professor on that album. Marco Polo. The songs they felt more like a family oriented album compared to For the People. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have I don't think they had any features on that album either. It was just them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have Illinois and none of these other people on here. That to me is their best album. But this is a banger.
Definitely. All right, I'm about to end this off right here. We are gonna come back later on tonight to do the Hoodlum movie review. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be probably
Hoodlum, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
probably 11:30 the latest when I get back from my meeting. Thank y'all so much for this. And this album's actually out of print. If you guys can find it, must have in your collection. Don't be afraid to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate this vase, appreciate this try as usual, and I'll see y'all niggas
Peace.
later.
Salute.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes.